Have you ever wondered how your favorite tomato ketchup is made? It's been a part of our lives for so long that it's almost impossible to imagine a world without it. From the breakfast table to the dinner plate, it's a constant companion, adding that extra zing to our meals. Tomato ketchup, a beloved condiment around the globe, is a fascinating blend of tradition and innovation. Its creation is a journey that begins in the soil and ends in your kitchen. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and reveal the secret behind the bottle. Now imagine a world without ketchup. It's a bit difficult, isn't it? Those golden French fries would seem incomplete, and your favorite burger would definitely miss that tangy punch. This ubiquitous sauce has found its way into our hearts and our food with such subtlety that it feels like an irreplaceable part of our culinary landscape. But what goes into making this thick, red sauce that's a staple on tables and in pantries across the world? The answer lies in a handful of simple, yet magical ingredients. The star of the show is, of course, the humble tomato. Ripe, juicy tomatoes are the base of every bottle of ketchup, providing that signature taste we all recognize. Next comes vinegar, a key player that gives ketchup its tangy kick. Then we have sugar, adding a touch of sweetness to balance out the acidity of the tomatoes and vinegar. Salt, the great enhancer, is added to elevate the flavors. And finally, a blend of spices is introduced to give our beloved condiment its characteristic warmth and depth. Each ingredient plays its part, coming together in a symphony of flavors that has made ketchup a global phenomenon. But it's not just about tossing these ingredients together. There's a science, an art to it, a method to the madness, if you will. But how do these ingredients transform into the thick, tangy sauce we know and love? Let's dive in. It all starts with the main ingredient, the tomatoes. Now imagine a sun-kissed field brimming with ripe, juicy tomatoes. It's not just any tomato that goes into making your favorite ketchup. Only the best, ripest, and juiciest ones make the cut. Yes, we're talking about tomatoes that are patiently nurtured and picked at the peak of ripeness. This ensures that the ketchup you love is packed with the most robust flavors. Harvesting is a delicate process, a dance with nature, if you will. It involves a keen eye and a gentle hand. The tomatoes are carefully picked to ensure that they are not bruised or damaged. This also helps to maintain the integrity of the fruit and its rich, tangy flavor. Now comes the part that's absolutely crucial: quality control. Quality control is the unsung hero in the journey from field to bottle. Each tomato is inspected for color, size, and firmness. Any tomato that doesn't meet these stringent standards is politely but firmly shown the door. This process is paramount to ensure that only the finest tomatoes make their way to the next stage. After the rigorous selection process, the chosen tomatoes are treated to a thorough wash. This isn't just a quick splash and dash. No. This is a complete spa treatment for the tomatoes. They are washed, rinsed, and then washed again to ensure they are free from any dirt, pesticide residues, or other unwelcome guests. Next, the tomatoes are sorted. This sorting process groups the tomatoes by size and ripeness. This is important because different sizes and levels of ripeness can affect the cooking time and the final flavor of the ketchup. And there you have it, the journey of the humble tomato from the field to the factory. This careful process ensures that the ketchup you enjoy is consistently delicious, time after time. Once the tomatoes are cleaned and sorted, it's time for the next step. Now it's time for the tomatoes to be cooked. And this part of the process is a fascinating journey in its own right. You see, tomatoes are more than just a colorful addition to our salads. Inside their juicy red skin lies a world of flavor and texture, waiting to be unlocked. The journey begins with the tomatoes being finely chopped. This step is crucial as it exposes more of the tomato's surface area to heat, enhancing the cooking process. The chopped tomatoes are then poured into large stainless steel vats, where they are subjected to intense heat. This heat is not just for cooking the tomatoes, but it also serves a more scientific purpose. As the tomatoes heat up, the cells within them start to break down, releasing a natural substance called pectin. Pectin is a type of fiber found in the cell walls of plants, and it's this very substance that gives the ketchup its thick, glossy texture. It's a complex process, but think of it as the tomato's way of gifting us their inherent richness and depth of flavor. The cooking process gradually transforms the fresh, juicy tomatoes into a thick, concentrated paste. It's during this phase that the true essence of the tomato is captured. The heat intensifies the tomato's natural sweetness while mellowing out their acidity, creating that unique, tangy sweet flavor profile we all associate with ketchup. But we're not quite finished yet. Remember those skins and seeds we mentioned earlier? Well, they've done their part in imparting flavor, and now it's time for them to leave the stage. The tomato paste is passed through a fine sieve, which effectively removes any remaining seeds and skins. This ensures that the final product has a smooth, velvety texture, free from any undesirable bits. And that's the cooking process in a nutshell. From fresh, ripe tomatoes to a rich, concentrated paste, it's a fascinating transformation, wouldn't you agree? But our journey doesn't end here. With the tomato paste ready, it's time to add the other ingredients. Now comes the part that gives ketchup its iconic taste. So you may be wondering, what exactly makes this humble tomato condiment so special? Well, it's all about the flavor. The core ingredients that give ketchup its signature sweet and tangy taste are vinegar, sugar, salt, and a blend of spices. Let's dive into how these are incorporated into our tomato paste. First up is vinegar. Vinegar brings the acidity to the table, cutting through the sweetness of the tomatoes and adding a tang that tickles your taste buds. The type of vinegar used can vary, but white distilled vinegar is a common choice due to its clean, sharp taste. Next in line is sugar. Sugar is the counterbalance to vinegar's acidity. It brings out the natural sweetness in the tomatoes, creating a beautiful harmony of flavors. The sugar quantity varies depending on the recipe, but it's always there, turning the tomato paste into a sweet delight. Salt is the silent hero of the flavor profile. It enhances the overall taste, bringing out the best in all the ingredients. It's like the conductor of an orchestra, making sure every flavor note hits just right. Finally, we come to the spices. The specific blend can vary wildly, but common choices are onion powder, garlic powder, and sometimes a hint of allspice or clove. These spices add depth and complexity to the ketchup, turning it from a simple tomato sauce into a flavor-packed condiment. Now, once all these ingredients are added to the tomato paste, it's time for another round of cooking. This second cook is crucial. It allows the flavors to meld together, creating a harmonious blend that is greater than the sum of its parts. Just imagine it. The bubbling pot of tomato paste, vinegar, sugar, salt, and spices, all coming together in a symphony of flavors. The heat gently coaxes out every nuance, every hint of sweetness, every tangy note, until the mixture is transformed into the ketchup we all know and love. Once the flavors are perfectly blended, it's time for the final step. The final step in the process is bottling the ketchup. After the ketchup has been cooked to perfection, it's time to cool it down. It's not just a matter of waiting, though. The ketchup is sent through a series of cooling tunnels to bring its temperature down to a safe level. This cooling process also helps to preserve the delicious flavor and vibrant color of the ketchup, ensuring that each bottle is as good as the last. Once the ketchup is cooled, it's ready to be bottled. Precision is key here, as each bottle must contain the exact same amount of ketchup. To ensure this, the ketchup is pumped into the bottles using a machine that measures out the perfect serving every time. But the process doesn't stop there. Each bottle of ketchup must pass rigorous quality control checks to ensure it meets the highest standards. These checks involve everything from inspecting the consistency and color of the ketchup to checking the weight and volume of each bottle. Any bottle that doesn't pass these checks is removed from the line, ensuring that only the best bottles make it to the shelves. Once the bottles have passed these checks, it's time for them to be labeled. Each bottle is then fitted with a label that proudly displays the brand and provides important information like nutritional facts and the best before date. After labeling, the bottles are packed into boxes, ready to be shipped off to stores. These boxes are loaded onto trucks, which will carry them to supermarkets and grocery stores all over the country, ready to be picked up by ketchup lovers like you. And that's not all. Even after the bottles have left the factory, they are tracked to ensure that they reach their destination on time and in perfect condition. This tracking process helps to ensure that your favorite ketchup is always there when you need it, whether you're making a sandwich, cooking up a storm, or just enjoying some fries. And that's how your favorite tomato ketchup makes its journey from the farm to your table.